Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
It's The Session with Mel G.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classic.
Times.
Last straight classic.
I think that we should start with this session. But before we begin, let me ask you a few questions. Have you?
Hey everyone, welcome to TheSessionTV. I'm your host Mel G, and today I'm welcomed by a very special friend of mine, a father, entrepreneur, business owner, a creative mind, and a good friend of mine. His name is Laz Garcia. Welcome to the session, Laz.
Thank you, Mel.
Happy to have you here. And you have such an interesting story, and I'm happy to be here to be able to tell it. Me and Laz have known each other kind of like as acquaintances for a couple years, through other people, just, por encimita, but finally, I believe it was last year, I discovered your acai bowl location, which is unbelievable. A good friend of both of us, I believe, Juan, he posted it on his IG story. And that's kind of, I was like, damn, I'm looking for a spot that does that, nearby. I tried to do it myself. That shit was like super bad. It didn't come out good at all. So I was like, dope that he has his own spot. Let me go check it out. And then one day, Laz was actually working behind the counter. He was like, yo, you're Mel, right? And then ever since then, we've just been connecting and talking about hip hop, talking about stupid shit. And it's just nice to be here and have you, because the reason why I wanted to interview you more than anything is because I believe in your product. I've been eating it, I've been trying it for over a year now, and it's just something that I really enjoyed. I believe that it's something that people should know about. So this is why I'm here. I want to let people know about what you do and just about you and your family and everything that you concise of. So usually when I start my interviews, when I have Hispanic guests, I like to start by highlighting our culture. I think it's important that people know that we're out here. We're really out here doing shit. And in the past couple months, obviously, a lot of things have been happening here in Miami with Cuba and the Cuban government, and so many things have happened. So I just want to, if you can enlighten everyone that's watching, a little bit about your story, your family, how you guys made it to the U.S., because it's a very interesting story. I'm not Cuban myself, so it's just nice to learn and to understand a little bit about that. So can you enlighten us a little bit?
Well, thank you, Mel, for having me out here. Just to introduce myself, my name is Laz. Originally born here in Miami, Florida, Kendall to be exact. Me and my brother, we were born here, 7 years apart. My mom and dad, they met here in Miami at a young age, around 17, 18 years old.
Nice.
My dad fled Cuba at 17. His story's pretty interesting. He actually drove a bus into the Cuban embassy, the Embajada de Peru. He actually crashed the bus into the embassy and had a bunch of Cubans jump on the embassy and just demand freedom and things like that. So that kind of started off the revolution in Cuba. After that, Fidel made the decision to let Cubans go and things like that. So he ended up coming here just on a boat. You hear that story a lot with Cubans. Yeah. He made it, thankfully, fortunately. A lot of Cubans don't. So he met my mom fled differently. She took a plane out of Cuba to go to Spain, and then from Spain she went to Jersey.
Holy
from
shit.
Jersey she came to Miami, and then she met my dad one day just randomly at the beach.
Okay. Wow, but her story too.
And they kicked it off, and it's history ever since. But yeah. So what's going on now and what's happening over in Cuba is really mind-boggling. It's crazy because it's still going on, the whole dictatorship and how people don't have a say over there. What we're doing right now, people can't do over there.
It's true.
They'll be locked up in prison for it. They'll be, their family get murdered, things like that. So, I'm true to my roots. I rep Cuba. I know I look white, gringo. Everyone thinks I'm super white with this blonde hair, blue eyes. But I'm Cuban to the fullest.
How did you feel when everything was popping off recently? Did you think that something would come out of it, or were you kind of I don't know?
It's crazy how a hashtag or, people to see it on social media finally got like some attention, because it's been going on for over 60 years.
That's true.
And just a little hashtag Patria en Vida or SOS Cuba finally like helped it get a little like.
You think
spark.
our generations have something to do with that? Like our
Definitely,
our age
like,
group?
what's going on? Like, you know, the word spreads 10 times faster today than it did back then.
Yeah. Did you actually attend any of the protests like that were happening here?
The only thing I pretty much went to after here one day, I went to right here on Bird Road in front of La Carreta, you know, just kind of just honked the horn, chanted, you know, just hoping, you know, just showing like, you know, people back home if they see it. Yeah. You know, to show like people in Miami are still repping or like still, you know, fighting for what they're going through, you know, and hoping for change in that sense. And I actually changed my logo, like my colors and my logo, my L1G, my branding is like Laz Garcia. Story behind that, favorites number 1, Laz Garcia.
A little bit of graffiti influence, maybe?
A little bit, definitely. So like L1G is kind of like my little creative alter ego, I would say. And I changed my logo on my IG to like red, white, and blue, more or less to kind of like go with how Cuba's flag is, the way I have it set up. And I told myself like I'm gonna keep it that way until something like changes. Like I told myself I'm not gonna change it at all.
What can people like myself, I mean, like I said, I'm not Cuban or anything, but I always try to spread the message. I'm super against injustices. You know, worldwide, it doesn't matter what it is. So to me, it always hits home when I see shit like that. So what can people like myself do? Like continue spreading messages? I mean, it's a dictatorship, so it's kind of hard. Like I don't know how we can be of help, you know?
The one thing I would say is just like if people, what irks me a little bit is like the people that don't know, you know, they try to have a say in what's going on. Yeah. If you, like if someone, just my thing is like more of us, like anyone who's outside of like Cuba or like who doesn't have friends in Cuba or knows any Cubans or anything like that, just like kind of be open-minded about what's going on. Like that's for everything in general, like just being, you know, accept others for who they are, you know, understand everyone has a story. Someone could be going through something, you know, someone might be having a bad day, a good day, just like, you know, you triggering something or you hitting them like in a soft spot, you know, might just like really ruin someone's day or something like that. So I say just like more or less like the reposting and all that stuff is good just to spread awareness, but more or less just being open-minded and just understanding and like hearing stories.
Yeah,
like,
because I'm not used to, like, even what you said about your mom, like she had to go all the way to Spain just to get her ass over here, you know, it's
she
like
went to Spain,
crazy
to Jersey,
journey, my goodness.
And I'm thinking about it like, if I was I think about it like if in my dad's position, if I was 17 years old, you know, leaving my family behind, just saying, yo, I'm out, and then taking the risk, like I can't, like, that's
our
insane.
parents, that's the thing about Hispanics, you know, we have all these crazy stories of how our parents literally sacrifice everything for us. So would you say that like at this point your family is proud of all that you've done as a business owner, you know, and everything that that we're about to talk about?
Yeah, I would definitely, you know, they're definitely proud. You know, thankfully, you know, knock on wood, I've never gotten arrested or been thrown in jail or anything like that, or gotten in too much serious trouble. I've gotten a little trouble here and there in the past, but nothing like too extreme. So
that's awesome.
And you know, they understand my vision and what I want to achieve in life and what I want to do for my family. So I know they're proud and they're happy of what I'm doing. And
yeah, man,
you know,
family support is everything.
Definitely.
So let's talk about your life here in Miami a little bit.
Okay.
So I mean, you went to McMillan, right?
I went to McMillan.
And you played football there. Or no?
I played, when I was in McMillan middle school, I played at a park, McMillan Park football. So growing up, I was always one of those kids that was at the park, around the neighborhood, running around, riding bike. But I grew up, you know, in that park, McMillan Park in West Kendall, since birth. I probably moved like 6 or 7 times within that area, but I've always lived around that park. Cool. And in 7th grade is when I started playing football, I would say, in McMillan Park. And
then you went on to Sunset, right?
I went to Sunset my freshman year. So after McMillan, I went to Sunset.
Where you still played football? Or,
yeah,
okay.
I played football my freshman year at Sunset, and then I transferred, to be honest, a couple times in high school. I went from Sunset to Coral Reef my sophomore year, back to Sunset midway sophomore year to play football junior year, and then I left midway junior year after the season to go to Ferguson. So I transferred over to Ferguson my junior year, and graduated from Ferguson.
Got you. So
class of 11.
You know, besides all the changing of schools, I can tell that sports is like a thing for you.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
definitely.
your whole life. So did you ever think about pursuing that, like as a career, like whether football or baseball or anything? Because I know that, you know, on your free time now, you do play baseball like as a hobby with your friends and stuff. So was that ever like a thought for you?
Growing up, definitely, that was my dream, like to play, you know, professional football, baseball.
Right.
I wanted to be in, you know, I wanted to work in sports somehow, you know, either if it was on the field, if not, doing like photography, videography,
cool, damn, that's
stuff
dope.
like that as well. But I always wanted to be, you know, like a football player growing up or a baseball player. Probably should have stayed in soccer, to be honest. I think that might have been the only chance. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I went to high school thinking I was gonna go, you know, pursue a career in football. I went to college. I went away. I went out of state. I went to a D3 school in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
I played football over there for 4 years. Graduated. Came back to Miami.
So it was like a real thing for you, man.
Yeah, definitely. I still to this day I play football. Like if I'm, you know, a young 18-year-old kid. But yeah. I love it. I can't get away from it.
Yeah,
now I play with my boys, and I'll play like flag football.
Got the
play
shirt
softball,
on, you know, you're
repping the Dolphins, you know, tour all day.
And speaking of Miami sports, like, huge fanatic. I mean, you go to the games, you watch all the games, you always repping, like I said.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between your favorite Miami sports team, Dolphins, Marlins, or the Miami Heat, who are you choosing?
Ooh. Yo, that is hard.
Viste.
That is hard. Oh man, my favorite team, damn, because I have so many like good memories with.
I know, you
know,
see, that's dope though. I like that you have that history here with Miami.
My favorite team, I'm gonna have to say, no matter what, will be the Dolphins.
Oh shit!
As
okay,
crazy
cool.
as that sounds.
No, I mean.
I love the Heat. I love what they did for us, like with the championship runs, and what they're still doing. You know, I rep the Heat to the fullest, but I just like football.
Okay.
That's my favorite sport,
got
so
you.
I just gotta go with the Dolphins.
But it shows you got heart, man, because the Dolphins is hard
and
to
the day
support,
the Dolphins
you know?
win the Super Bowl, and I know it's coming soon. I know when the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, the city is gonna go crazy. It's happening soon.
Let's pray on that, yo. What are your expectations though, like for this season? Because I know preseason just started, you know, for basketball. Football's going on. So do you have like high expectations for our teams this season?
Yeah, I just finished doing a bet yesterday on like how the Heat are gonna go over 500 at the midway point. I'm so true to the Heat. I know the Heat are gonna do good. They're gonna do good. The Dolphins are gonna end up doing good. Everybody's gonna do good.
All right. What about UM? I know. Are you a college fan?
Yeah, I'm a big UM fan. We're on the come up right now.
All right. Okay. We're working on it.
We're working on some things right now, but we'll be all right.
Okay. So cool. The next thing I want to touch on, I think is something super important, is that you're a father.
Yes.
You recently just had your second baby girl, so congratulations.
True. Thank you.
What was your experience, you know, becoming a dad? Like, what was that like for you the first time?
It was life-changing, that's for sure. I know it sounds a little cliche, but it definitely is life-changing.
And you and your girl have been together for quite some time as well, so it must be nice to, like, you know, start your family and do that whole shit.
Yeah. So we've been together for 4 years now. Just had our second baby a little bit over a month ago.
Yeah.
So my first one was born in December 10th, 2019.
Oh, nice.
So she's a year.
She's a Sag like me.
She's a Sag. So she's about to be 2 now in December, and the other one's a little bit older, a month. So I have Stella. She was my firstborn, and then Stella and Luna.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I have my star and my moon.
Oh, so sweet. I love it.
So yeah, I'm a father of 2. But yeah, it's just one of those things, like, you think you're tired, stuff like that. There's no such thing as being tired when you have a kid. It's like another like energy booster. Like, you just gotta keep going. They're my motivation. They're my why.
Yeah.
They're the reason why I get up in the morning and why I do what I do every day, pretty much.
What was like one of the biggest lessons you learned, like when you first started off with your fatherhood? The diapers or like?
Just sleep is a real thing. Like, you need to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's something you get, you know, shout out to my lady. She holds it down every 2 hours.
Yeah.
The baby needs to be fed. The baby's crying up, so
Women,
getting time to,
Superheroes.
you gotta get some sleep in when you can. Like your day changes. You might have to slip in a little nap here in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Especially like someone like you. I mean, I don't know what your girl does, but that you have like several businesses and stuff. So you make sure to sneak in those naps when you can.
So just keeping track of time was the biggest thing too. Just making sure you have time for everyone, and your
Not,
businesses,
spread yourself thin
the family time and stuff like that, and know when to separate things. Like not try to bring work into the house.
Yes,
or what's
boundaries.
going, not bringing things into the home, or what's going on at home, like not bringing into any of the businesses or anything like that. But yeah, I'm still learning today, I would say.
Of course, yeah, it's going to be a process.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your businesses. As I mentioned, I am a true supporter of Unbelieveabowl, because I've been going there for over a year now. What got you into like doing the acai bowls and the fruit industry, the health industry, that whole vibe?
So I always wanted to tap into the food industry and like I would say like the club, more like a lounge type of scene.
Okay.
Like, I always wanted to have like a little hangout spot where people can go listen to music, chill, kick it, and eat as well, or be able to hang out with friends, meet up, stuff like that. So acai, it was funny. It was just an idea we put together. Me and my partner Jason, like we were just here at the smoke shop, hanging out. And from one day to the next, we were just talking about like, what can we do? What can we bring to Miami? I
like it.
We were both going back and forth here and there, like making acai bowls. He was like, "Are you making acai bowls?" Yeah, I do it all the time. Oh, I make a better acai bowl. So we started battling who can make a better acai bowl.
Cool.
And then we just got right into it. We looked into like food trucks. We started off as a food truck last year. During like the middle of the pandemic, we got a food truck off of just like a offer up, I should say.
Oh shit, dope.
We started doing that monthly. We wrapped up the truck. We started going to a gym down in South Miami.
And like offering your product.
Offering our product and just getting people, getting the word out, put it on IG, got a good feedback. The product was good. People loved it. We mixed it up. It's not your regular acai bowl, acai bowl with like Nutella, cereal, Fruity Pebbles, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you get creative with it.
We tell people, we're the best of both worlds. Like you have your healthy option and your not so healthy option, so you can pick and choose,
Yeah, when you want to be bad and when you want to be good.
Exactly. So, you gotta treat yourself a little bit sometimes.
Sometimes, yo. How was it like choosing the location for you? Like, why Kendall?
That was a blessing, to be honest. So how that came about, we were here at the smoke shop. We had the food truck parked out here. There's an Orange Theory gym right around the corner here.
Okay.
And we got their attention. And they were like, oh, we have a restaurant in West Kendall on 147th and Miller.
Right.
And I was just like, really? I've lived in that area. I live literally right across the street. I've never seen this restaurant there. So they were like, hey, you should check it out. So we had a meeting with them. We sat down, checked out the location. It was literally right behind my house. And I was like, there's no way this is real. Literally in Kendall, right behind my house, this location's available, So then, we met with the owners of the location. We had a meeting, worked things out, figured out the numbers here and there, and then set up a plan. And then we opened up Unbelieveabowl January 9th of 2021.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing, yo.
At right there in the same neighborhood, same area that I grew up in. So that was just.
That's like a cherry on top
crazy.
for you.
It was crazy because I feel like maybe some hard work that I did in the past.
Yeah.
Like this is like my
culmination
little payoff for it. So
oh,
it's
yeah,
just like, wow,
bro.
you gotta get a little bit of luck in there somehow.
What made you want to become a business owner? Like in the beginning, like to begin with, tell me a little bit about your previous jobs and things like that.
I've always worked for someone else. I was always like a little hustler. I would grind in the sense of like I would have different jobs. I would have 2-3 jobs lined up, a day. And like I was saying, I always wanted to work in sports. So when I came back from college, I started working a little internship with the Dolphins at the same time that I was working with the Marlins.
Wow.
working overnight shifts in Davie at the training facility. So like just back and forth, constantly working long hours.
Amazing.
And I was just like, not necessarily burned out from it, but I was just like, all right, I need to do something for me now. Like, let me focus on what I want to do.
You had that realization.
And while I was working those overnight shifts as one of my jobs as like a security guard for the Dolphins, I was just in a desk overnight, 8 hours plus, just sitting there. So I would like whip out my iPad, whip out my computer, and I started drawing and doing little stuff like that. So then that's when I got tapped into like doing my own brand for myself. With my photography and videography skills that I used to do like a little bit in high school. Like it came back to me, I would say. Like I
had like that light bulb and you're like, what am I doing?
I stepped away from it for a little bit, played sports, and then when I came back and started doing those jobs, just clicked. It was just,
love that.
you know, and I always told myself, I saw something one day and it was just like, oh, you need at least 7 sources of income and little stuff like that. So I was like, all right, how can I do
how can I get there?
2, 3, 4, like.
Definitely on that same mission, I feel you.
So this is.
What's been the most challenging as a business owner? Like, for example, how has it been finding good help, hiring people in that process? Like all those little things that people never talk about, you know?
That's just something, you know, I would say as a business owner, like you don't know what to expect each and every day. Like something, you can have a plan set up and something might happen, you know, a delivery, a shipment might not be able to come in, so now you're out of strawberries. Or like something, so it's just kind of like figuring out ways to adapt to like what's going on, I would say. And hiring is honestly one of probably the bigger challenges, I would say. Just finding good, you know, employees, good people in general, you know, is something that's kind of a little tough task to do, but, you know, still working on it. You know, we're always hiring. If anyone's, you know, watching this interview is looking for a job, you know, we got
Here you go, send in your app, yo.
It's a fun work environment, I would say, but you know, that's probably one of the more challenging things, just finding, you know, continuous flow of good employees. But yeah, just adapting to different things every single day.
And you guys are, you know, at Unbelievable have been having community events, you know, with some DJs, and you're teaming up with other companies. So how has that been for you? And like, what gave you the idea to even do those things?
That just goes back to like, kind of like my younger promoting days and like wanting to throw events, wanting to throw, you know, parties and stuff like that. So thankfully, the community event we're doing at Unbelievable, we do it, you know, once a month for right now. You know, we just bring the live DJs. We have like music out there. We have 2 hats, some West Kendall boys, I would say. They're DJs that I grew up with. They're like from my brother's generation, a little bit older. But they play hip hop, merengue, reggaeton. Like they're very family oriented, very fun atmosphere DJs. So they're out there. You know, we bring in different DJs. You know, different vendors might pop in.
It's like your way of giving back.
It's just a little way of just giving back, you know. We'll do little free samples, giveaways, and it's just something for the community because I've always wanted to do something for that area.
Dope.
So yeah, that's my kind of like a little way to just get everybody involved, get kids from like Macmillan Park, those same kids, you know, to come.
I love it. Full circle moment.
Yeah, to come back and, you know, enjoy some acai, drink some smoothies, and just, you know, see a friend or little stuff like that. Catch a vibe. Yeah, catch a vibe, definitely.
So if you had to choose, what would be your favorite item on the menu?
Ooh. Damn. Definitely an acai bowl.
Okay.
Damn. Or maybe...
I love stumping my guest.
We just started doing poke bowls now.
True, I saw. That's good.
So basically we're an acai smoothie bar. Like to consider us like a hidden gem, like kind of like a little hole in the wall.
I think you are, shit. That's why I'm here.
That people don't know about it, and then there's gonna obviously like pop off one day.
Yeah, man.
So it's either like you get with it now, or you know,
you're gonna be left behind.
Yeah, you're gonna be left behind. But we do poke bowls now, so it's fire. It's good. I'd say probably a 305 bowl.
Okay.
That's probably a lot of people's
And what does
favorites
it have, just so they have an idea?
It has a little bit of everything, and then we throw in some kiwi, mango, strawberry, banana, coconut flakes, chia seeds.
Yummy.
Banana. So it's like a little bit of everything.
Super good, guys. Highly recommend.
Yeah, no, it's a great bowl. It's probably people's favorites.
And the actual logo is like a flamingo.
It's a flamingo.
With the coconuts, I believe it is.
It's a coconut. It's like a bowl, and then he's like standing on acai and like eating acai at the same time.
You actually designed that yourself, correct?
Yes. So the logo just, you know, it was just brainstorming. Probably took a couple months to actually put together, just to like get the right one. Like went through a couple different logo type like designs, and I was just like, all right, this is not the one, this is not the one. And finally, like it clicked. I was just like Miami, flamingo, you know.
Boom, easy.
Something like I was just like, I need to get something like Miami feel. I wanted like that blue.
I like it.
Like Miami blue and the Miami pink type of vibe to it. So like a flamingo, and then I was just like, all right, how can I incorporate this flamingo and acai? I was just like,
really
if you
cute.
really look at a flamingo, they're always like their water, like the water's like above their like their feet a little bit. So I was just like, all right, let me put this acai bowl right at his
really
feet.
Cute, really cute and creative.
Make it seem like instead of a river or like a lake or whatever,
standing in acai.
Standing in acai.
I love it. So let's talk about a little bit more about that creative graphic design, art, you know, part of your life.
Yeah.
What got you into that? Did you ever go to school for it, or it was just like you got into it on your own, YouTube University type style?
Type of thing, yeah, definitely YouTube University. It was just something, you know, in high school I actually was in like a video production class, and it kind of influenced me a little bit to start doing the whole videography, editing videos. My dad, growing up, and like while I was growing up, my dad always like would be drawing. I would always ask him, yo, draw this, draw that. He would draw it for me. It was pretty cool. So I was
always
like,
fascinated by it.
I was always in school and college in like my psychology class, or you know, my theology class, or something that I had to do for the school that I really didn't care too much about. I was just like drawing in the back of the notebook, like stuff like that. So when I came back, I just started, you know, designing again, started drawing all over again, and just kind of it just came back to me, I would say. And it was just something, you know, I grew up with, and just I'm influenced by like other artists as well. Yeah. That I see, and you know, seeing graffiti and all that stuff in Miami all the time is like something that just kind of I liked growing up. So I just.
And you do merch, like actual T-shirts and like clothes, and then you actually do your canvases as well. Yeah. So which one do you like doing better, I guess, is the question.
I would say probably the shirts, just because I've always wanted to have my own clothing design, and I'm a fan of just, you know, fashion, I would say, and like nice clothes. So I always told myself I wanted to get to a point in life where like all the clothes I'm wearing is just strictly designed by myself.
I feel that way too, you know what I'm saying?
So, you know, that hoodie's hard.
Thank
I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to design clothes, and the canvases is really nice as well. It's like more for like a living room, a house in brick, or apartment, a building. They're nice, but you know, it's just I would rather wear something than to just.
I feel that.
See it, I would say.
Where did you get the idea for the zombie look, like the melted zombie?
So that's interesting. It goes back to like those long hours at work. Yeah. Staying, you know, working from like 9 in the morning to like 9 at night, to then have to drive an hour from 10 to like 7 in the morning. Like just those 2 days, like staying up. Yeah. I would say like the zombie look. It was it's called grime art. You know, it's kind of like that zombie look, those pop colors, I would say. Okay. Like the pop art, like those flashy, bright colors. The drip, like I think of it as like more like sweat in some sense, like kind of like from like that hard work, grinding it out. Nice. Type of thing. So that's, I don't know, and I just tapped into the whole zombie look. I like the vibe, you know. It's kind of like my thing.
If like you don't have like a special canvas, I'm sorry, like if somebody wanted to like request a canvas like of somebody, you can do that for them as well. Yeah. I'm assuming.
I do everything, honestly, I do everything digitally, like through my iPad.
Awesome.
My computer, and then I have a homie he's the one who stretches it out, puts it on a canvas. So basically any artist, anything you want to just stretch out on a canvas, that can be done.
And do you often collab with people? Because I know that you did a collaboration for Girls Miami in Wynwood, the sneaker box. Yeah. So like, is that something that you aspire to do, like more collaborations with people, things like that?
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty picky, like who I want to collaborate with, you know.
It's important.
I would say, yeah, just because one, I have to just like be, you know, I have to buy into like, you know, their culture, their vibe, or like things like that. Like who I'm working with, like I just don't necessarily want to do work for like
It's kind of like me
everyone,
interviewing you.
yeah.
Like I believed in your stuff, so I
Which
wanted
I
to sit down with
appreciate.
you. Yeah.
So yeah, so like Grails, you know, the whole sneaker, what they got going on, the whole like sneaker bar vibe, like the whole sneaker vibe, the hip hop vibe that they got going on there. You know, I met with one of their owners and I just like, I liked their concept, their idea. I wanted to tap into it as well, and they just reached out to me and they asked me, hey, can you design a shoebox for us? Never in my life have I ever designed a shoebox. I just took on
You're
the
like,
challenge.
fuck it, let's do it.
That's how like 90% of this stuff goes. It's something I've never done, just taking the risk to do it.
Dope.
So I just, you know, I put my little flavor, my little taste into it. They told me some ideas they had, and just did a whole collage of just like a bunch of different sneakers, stuff with hip hop, stuff with like Nike influence that they wanted. Put it in a box, and it's something they give to like some of their high-end clientele, some of their influencers. It's a shoebox with like a whole like cocktail setup, a whole
really dope
bottle, and it's in a little sneaker vessel that they have set up.
Nice.
So it was just something I put together, and it was just a project that, you know,
a dope opportunity.
A dope opportunity, you know, it was a dope project because obviously, you know, little projects like that, people see that, and you know, the word spreads a little bit, and then they want to contact. So.
And speaking of collaborations, you actually did a collaboration where we're at right now at Lincoln's Brewery. You did a whole ass beer of Unbelieveabowl.
Yeah, so that was.
So how would that come about?
That was interesting. It was just, you know, we supplied the acai, the idea. They're the ones who just kind of whipped it up. You know, I had
Really
no beer making experience whatsoever. I wasn't in the back, like, you know, whipping beer or anything like that. You know.
They're really cool, man.
Shout out to all the, you know, the guys who work at Lincoln's.
Yeah, it was an exclusive, so.
It was an exclusive. It was a limited time only. It was good. It was awesome. It had everything. It had like oats, pineapple, things you wouldn't think that can go into a beer.
Yo, when I saw it, I was like, how did Laz,
juice.
like, what do you mean he collabed with a beer? That's so cool.
That was cool how that worked out. You know, maybe we bring it back again. You know, maybe a little seasonal thing.
Okay, for sure.
But yeah, that's how that came about.
And you know, kind of like the last point I want to touch on for your creative side, you do have some new designs that are coming soon. So are you excited to release that out to the world? Like, is that your newest design? Like, there's no other ones, right? Like you have the sports stuff. And you have the zombie stuff, but like this is going to be the newest one you're introducing to everybody,
it's
right?
a little bit. It's going to be, you know, kind of this idea, this whole like vintage bootleg style rap tee.
For sure.
I have someone coming out, a new artist coming out there.
Nice.
Few, but I got one already lined up for hopefully, you know, dropping the next week or two.
Sure.
And then I have another one that's like, you know, I'm doing a little different launch, kind of called Streetwear by L1G.
Sure.
It's more of like a minimal designs, like very, you know, small designs here and there, black and white type of.
Nice. So you definitely have some stuff cooking up for us.
Yes, coming soon.
Super exciting. So I'm ready to ask you now some fun random questions about hip hop and music.
My
favorite stuff. So if you had to choose, who is your album of the year so far for 2021?
Oh man. I'm biased. I'm telling you right now. I'm definitely gonna go with J. Cole.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that. Yeah. I mean, it's a solid project, bro.
The bars are back. You would say the bars are back.
I love it. And you just went to the concert too.
I went to the concert.
How was that? First show in Miami, yo. Love it.
I've gone to a bunch of J. Cole shows. I even went to like his Dreamville festival, the only one he's had so far, because they've gotten canceled with like hurricanes and COVID.
All this shit.
So, you know, it was just crazy. It was a little bit of his old stuff, his whole album. And it was just a whole different.
He puts on such amazing concerts.
It's just when you think he can't get better, you know, you think maybe, you know, at some point his time's gonna come to an end. He just keeps putting out. Leveling up. Definitely. So I'm biased, but I'm gonna have to go with the off season.
Okay, so speaking of Dreamville, who's your favorite Dreamville artist besides J. Cole? Like, I feel like that's the obvious answer, but
this one's a little. It's tough too. I like Earth Gang and I like JID.
JID, bro, man.
JID is my favorite though. I'm gonna have to go with JID. His flow, his bars.
I fuck with Cause though. Cause is super hard, man.
I like Cause too.
But JID, he's a new star. He's from the South. I love that and Earth Gang too. I love that they're from the South.
They're all from Atlanta, and they all, you know, when I think of Atlanta, I think of like more of like, you know, like Future and like, more like, you know, songs honestly for like the strip club or something like that,
that's
or
the
like
vibe,
the
yeah,
more party
definitely.
type of vibe. But Earth Gang and JID, they have bars, and I've seen
Yeah,
them both
man.
live in a small show. You know, I actually had the opportunity to hang out with them backstage at 1-800 Lucky.
Super dope.
I got to chill with them, talk with them, so that was like quite the experience. That was
Amazing,
That was
bro.
one of a kind, because those guys are legit.
Yeah, man. Who would you say is your favorite old school like hip hop artist? Like if you had to choose one, the classic guys or girls.
Solo artists,
Yeah.
like I would have to go with Nas.
Yes.
I'd have to go with Nas for sure. I know people are like, oh,
Why we're cool.
you know, Biggie or Tupac. I have to go with Nas.
Oh, I love it. Now a little bit on the Spanish side. If you had to choose J Balvin or Bad Bunny.
Oh man, that one. I like them both. The only two Spanish artists I've drawn have been Bad Bunny and J Balvin. Damn. I'm gonna have to go with Bad Bunny.
Yeah. It's that he makes his music's too good,
his
bro.
music, and he'll give you a little bit of everything. J Balvin too. I'm just gonna have to go with Bad Bunny though.
Just
I
to
like 'em
choose,
both,
yeah, just to choose. What's the next concert you'll attend, if any?
I want to go to Rolling Loud, New York, to be honest.
Oh shit, dope. So you get a little bit of everything at festivals. That's
I've never
why I
gone
like
to
'em.
Rolling Loud.
I did in Miami.
Oh, for real?
That was the last time I saw Mac Miller perform. Yeah. I saw
Nice,
Kendrick,
nice.
Mac, Joey
R.I.P.
Badass.
Mac.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
It
Joey
was
Badass
really,
is dope.
really fucking awesome. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the more. I'm not sure who's coming anytime.
Are you gonna go to the Dreamville one, the one that they rescheduled? I think it's for next year.
Maybe if I can find some tickets somehow, because those things are sold out within like 10 minutes. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I can wiggle my way in there and find a way to go.
Anybody you're looking forward to drop music? You know, by the end of the year or something like that? That hasn't dropped that you're like,
I think
you know,
Kendrick should be dropping something apparently. I hope Kendrick drops something soon. I love Kendrick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who's lined up next. Who's coming up?
I like Absol, so I'm waiting for Absol.
Absol's a beast. Absol's
He's my favorite
disgusting.
in TD, so I'm definitely anticipating
Absol's a
that.
beast.
Yeah, man.
I like all types of artists.
Sure.
I like, I have my phases. Like my Griselda crew.
Yeah,
Benny
of
the
course.
Butcher and
Killing
those
it,
guys.
bro.
Conway the Machine. Those guys are disgusting.
Yeah, man. Repping for hip hop.
Yeah.
Is there anyone? It's not like music related, but who are some of your influences that like you look up to
In
general?
In general, I'd say definitely, my old man, my dad, my parents were always an influence in my life.
I love that you said that.
Sports-wise, I would say like D Wade was a figure of mine, like growing up. Like,
Wadecito.
Dwayne Wade was always like one of those guys. I was like, damn, this kid came out of Chicago and did what he did for
bro.
Miami and everything he's
Wade
done.
County.
Yeah. So, in art-wise, I would say I have a couple different Miami artists. Trying to think, growing up, you see like MSG, 28, and some of those guys, Atomic.
Fucking great.
That's
dope.
And a bunch of different artists. Fricks 84, that's one artist that, he's a little bit older, went to Sunset, like my brother's class type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like what he does influenced the crap out of me,
Nice to hear you naming some Miami people.
Yeah,
That's
no,
dope.
it's there's a lot. It's too many to name. Like I don't want to leave.
No worries, my friend.
Leave people out, but I get influence from a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just stepping outside and seeing like a palm tree in Miami, the sun.
I love it.
That right there influences me.
It's dope.
A
little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. My kids, I can't forget them. They are the reason why I do a bunch of stuff. I would say they're my motivators. Like they're the ones I see, and I.
You want to go hard,
I go hard for them.
Definitely.
But yeah.
So just a couple thoughts to wrap up. Like, what are some of your future goals? Like, do you plan on expanding the businesses or something like that in the future? Maybe different locations around Miami?
That's definitely a goal. I want to I mentioned like the Keys, Tampa, You know,
shit,
maybe
okay.
Orlando, like some of those places. You know, I want to like branch out more in Florida.
Nice.
But I want to make it like, you know, nationwide.
Amazing.
Global would be legit. You know, sky's the limit. Like Unbelievable, I think that product and that concept.
Yeah.
If we could bring that like in different places and give them like that little Miami feel.
Sure.
I think, you know, sky's the limit. I feel like I can open, you know, 10, 20,
Yeah.
you know, soon.
And it's
My goal,
good,
you
man.
know, within the
It's
next,
good.
you know, next couple of years is to at least open another one. So
Okay.
that's,
Show.
you know, and then with the whole L1G, the whole graphic design, you know, do more work for bigger companies or just,
Fire.
you know, companies I want to collab with and just hopefully.
And you did a collab too with for the caviar company. What was the name of that?
So that's UFC fighter Miami.
Yeah.
George Masvidal. That's one of his companies. It's called Captain's Caviar. You know, they came out here to In the Cut. They gave me their idea, what they wanted to do. You know,
Bro, caviar. That's like super.
That's, you know, that's
legit,
that
yo,
fancy,
different
dancy,
field.
you know.
Yeah, man.
Stuff. I didn't know how expensive caviar was until I spoke to them, and they were like, you know, a couple $100 for like this much caviar. I was like, Jesus.
Did you get to try it at least?
Yes.
How was that experience?
It's good.
All right.
It's good.
I'm a
It's
picky
good.
eater,
It's
so
good.
I don't
It's
know
good.
what to
I eat
expect with
everything,
that.
so whatever you put on my plate, I'm eating. So.
But that's dope, like caviar. Like I wouldn't have even thought, you know. So you're
Yeah.
open to just working with whoever, as long as it's not legit and you feel inspired by it.
Yeah.
Awesome,
You know.
man. Well, I don't think I have anything else to ask you. It's been my pleasure to have you here on my show and bother you with all my questions, but I think you have a super interesting journey, and you know, all your businesses, all your ideas, your creativeness. Go to Unbelievable, go try the acai, go try the smoothies. A1, I promise.
Definitely.
So Laz, once again, thank you so much for being here.
No.
Thank you for joining The Session TV. Hope you guys tune in for more interviews of me. This is just an entrepreneur interview, nothing to do with music, but I want to make sure to cover the community and people that I know that are doing awesome stuff. So once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. I'm Mel G, your host. It's been a pleasure. One love, everybody.
Thank you.